Hello and welcome back to your South King County Real Estate Update. My name is Sarah Eggleston with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and I am here to deliver your weekly news for South King County real estate. So we'll hop right into those slides. Today is February 4th. I almost said January. This year is already flying by like the last one did. So it is February 4th, 2022. And what happened this week? Well, this is a little bit of a diversion from my normal type of story because this morning I was part of a group, John L. Scott Young Professionals Network, that went and volunteered for a couple hours at Food Lifeline, my little name tag right here. It was super fun. We got 6,500 pounds of food repackaged to go out to food banks so that this company or this organization takes in all of these donations, resorts them, and then distributes them evenly between all of the food banks so that you don't end up with one food bank with like only beef and one with only chicken. We separated it out so that the boxes can be distributed evenly. And I was actually really impressed with the amount of healthy food items available in these donated packages. And really, I had such a great time and bonding with other real estate agents, doing good for the community. And I'm considering making one of these Food Lifeline groups of my own. So if you are interested in possibly being part of a volunteer group to redistribute food evenly, let me know. I would love to set that up, and if there's the interest for it. So I'll go ahead and jump back on into the slides. And so this one is just a little there was an article that went along with it, but I felt like it was a little redundant with some of the other articles I was covering today. So I just took this infographic. The smaller cities in Seattle area saw the fastest growth in 2021. I don't think this is coming as a surprise to anyone who's followed the real estate market, even just a little bit over the last couple of years. The trend has been people moving out of Seattle or the more dense areas and moving out to the surrounding areas where they can afford a larger house, more land, have a bigger yard, and be a little more comfortable at home. So this change, as far as this is for population. So the population in Black Diamond grew 13.3%. That's a pretty huge change. There's a huge development out in Black Diamond that is fairly new within the last few years. When I initially went out to this development out in Black Diamond, they had all of these materials at their builder office of the planned road construction in the area, all the projects that were going to make the infrastructure better to support that many people. So I saw this coming even before the pandemic, as far as Black Diamond in particular, but I am sure the pandemic trends accelerated their growth quite significantly. You can see that that was the only smaller town in King County that made this list, but we have Shoreline in King County. That's way farther north of us at 1.1, but SeaTac grew 1.7% and Auburn grew 0.9%. We are seeing more growth in the smaller areas, whereas Auburn, SeaTac, these are pretty densely populated areas. You're not seeing as fast of growth. So this one came out January 30th, where profits are soaring most for home sellers in Washington. Hint, it's not Seattle. So the median profit margin of 45% nationally was the highest since 2008. I really liked this quote from Adam Data Solutions Chief Product Officer. 2021 will go down as one of the greatest years for sellers and one of the toughest for buyers. And if you've been watching my show or following real estate news for any length of time, then you know that is playing true. There's been a lot of buyers that have been having troubles out there. But honestly, if you look at the data as far as how many homes are being sold. There's more homes being sold now than in other times. So there are still a lot of buyers that are, winning. But the Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue metro area saw some of the highest profits in the country. If you look at this map, it breaks out Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma. So this is a pretty huge area that they're covering right now. And the highest in our nation was actually Spokane Valley. They are up 39.4% on their profits. And homeowners are actually staying in their homes longer than they were in 2000, but we are on a trend heading the other direction. In 2000, people stayed in their homes about 6 years. So 2020, it was 10 years, and we have seen people staying in their homes longer and longer, but now in 2021, it was down to 6.5 years again. That 10-year to 6.5-year jump is such a huge, it's the biggest jump on record for this data point. Spokane and Bremerton are, as I said before, Spokane is experiencing huge growth. So is Bremerton. There's a lot of homeowners that have still hesitated on selling their home because they're worried about finding their new home to play. If there's nothing on the market, where am I going to go? If you are having this concern, let's sit down to have a chat, because I have some secret solutions for you. Not too secret, but single-family home neighborhoods could see duplexes, sixplexes in bills pushed by Washington lawmakers. So this is definitely a housing-related articles, but this is going to be more about future projection for home values and what's going to happen as far as the makeup of neighborhoods and how that's going to change. But they are advocating for higher density. So places where there are single family homes, allowing duplexes or quadplexes, even up to sixplexes in those areas, so that we can have more housing in a denser area. This missing middle is one of the terms that I've heard throughout being aware of the real estate market. But if you go out of the city, there's places you can buy but a lot of people don't have the ability to commute in. Otherwise, there's rentals that are available in denser areas. The single family homes are just unattainable. So this is a way to fill that gap of the missing middle, have something between condo and single family home. The duplexes, quadplexes, those finance just like a single family home. So if you are looking for a way to get into real estate investing, but don't really have the funds, you can purchase a duplex, triplex, quadplex, live in one unit, and then rent out the others. That is a great way to build equity for the future. The bills would provide for, as I said, denser housing with fewer limitations. Cities of at least 20,000 people, there's going to be some transit and transportation requirements as well. The Senate proposal and the House proposal do have some differing aspects. The Senate proposal would allow up to floorplexes on lots larger than 4,500 square feet, and the House proposal would allow duplexes and ADUs. So one is more dense than the other. For smaller cities of 10,000 people, the Senate proposal would require allowing duplexes on all lots that today allow only single family homes. You can see the potential for more affordable housing options throughout our state with these bills. The biggest concern that would come to mind for me as far as higher density housing is the toll it's taking on the environment. So the House bill does take on some of the effects of density on tree canopies and open spaces, and try and mitigate those problems before they become a problem. And that brings us to our market stat minute. So you can see we had 536 new listings, 639 pendings, and 365 sold. This new listings 536 has jumped up a little bit from last week, and our pendings did tick down. So looking at this graph, we can see that there's a little more to choose from at this moment than there was this time last week. So that is great news for buyers, having more come to the market. For Renton, we had 19 new listings compared to our 36 pendings. All those pendings started out as new listings and then fell into the pending column as they went pending. So listings in that pending column are listings that came to the market last Thursday, Friday, and then went pending by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on the property. But the Kent, you can see that the pending isn't eating up as much of the new inventory, 24 to 31. Auburn is a little bit more kind of in between Kent and Renton at 21 new listings and 33 pendings. And Federal Way, we had 24 new listings and 23 pendings. So we're pretty neck and neck on new listings and pendings there. So if you are looking for a place that has a few more options available for Southeast King County, this is our monthly John L. Scott update from J. Lennox Scott, our chairman and CEO. This breaks it down into different price points. So under 350K, we have 0.2 months supply. That's true up to 750K. Then we jump to 0.4 up to 1.5 million. And at 1.5 million, we actually have some inventory, 1.5 months of inventory, because those don't tend to go as fast. Compare that to Southwest King County. So over closer to the water there, we have 0.5 months on the low end and 1.3 months on the top end. So if you look at the percentage of listings that go pending in 30 days, for under 350K on the Southeast King County, it's 84.4%. Southwest King County is 79.4%. So not as quite as large of a percentage of homes in this area are going pending within that first few days in this price point. If we look at Southeast King County at the high end, if we look at the 1.5 million plus, let's look at 1 million, 1 to 1.5 million. We have 88.9% of listings in Southeast King County going pending within the first 30 days. Southwest King County, that's 33.3%. As comparing Southwest and Southeast King counties, we are a lot more comparable on the lower end of things, the lower end of the spectrum. Once we get up to the million plus, there's a lot more $1 million plus homes in the Southeast King County. The closer to Bellevue you get, the more homes within that price range that you find. So looking at last week, our weekly average mortgage rate was 3.55%. This week, our weekly average mortgage rate was even at 3.55%. But if we look at exactly what's happening today, we're at 3.85% for our 30-year fixed. But it may be difficult to remember, but a little more than 3 years ago, the 30-year fixed rate was marching towards 5%. In November 2018, it reached 4.94%. Then the pandemic hit and sent mortgage rates tumbling to record lows. Now they are being driven higher by inflation and moves by the Federal Reserve. So we can see that happening. That weekly average is more of a Monday to Monday comparison, and there was a lot of change on interest rates throughout the week compared relatively. And as I said, we are at 3.85 for our daily rate. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you about what's going on in the market in your area, or if there's an area you're interested in possibly moving to, we can look at that area compared to the area you're in. Whatever your plans are, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you about your housing goals and how we can achieve them. So please feel free to reach out. Just call, text, email, DM, whatever platform you're watching this on. Feel free to reach out. I would love to have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining me for your South King County real estate update. My name's Sarah Eggleston with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and we'll be back next Friday with your South King County real estate news. Have a great week and see you then.